Tonight, the disappearance of Eli Wood.
You don't want to taint witnesses' memories. You don't want to influence them by anything that they may be reading on social media or in the media itself.
The new message from regional police and the new search that's planned.
We're just hoping to hopefully maybe find some sort of answers and possibly even bring Eli home.
By a concerned community. Water Watch.
So we're getting our minds wrapped around all this and trying to figure out what are the solutions, what are the things we need to expedite.
The region flags a potential shortage for its expected population boom. The Encampment battle heading to court. New details on a case that's put downtown Kitchener in focus. And the new warning from Canada's housing advocate.
Forced evictions cause further harm. Everything that I've heard about forced evictions does not have a good end.
About forced evictions. Good evening. It's been more than 6 weeks since the disappearance of Kitchener resident Eli Wood, whose home was damaged by a fire. Regional police think arson and foul play are involved, but they've shared few other details. It's prompted community members to plan their own search, while police today put out a statement to explain the lack of updates. CTV's Krista Simpson joining us now with more on this story tonight. Krista.
Tony, police say to protect the integrity of the investigation, they are limited as to what they can say at this time. They've also released a statement from Eli's family, thanking the public for their support and asking them to avoid speculation. It was October 19th when flames engulfed the rear of this home on Major Street in Kitchener. The resident of that unit, 25-year-old Eli Wood, has been missing ever since. Waterloo Regional Police have said they believe the fire was intentionally started and foul play is suspected in Wood's disappearance. But there have been few updates on the case. On Thursday, a statement from police saying, in part, "We recognize the significant public interest in this case. However, to protect the integrity of the investigation, we are limited in the information we can share at this time. We want to assure the public that this is a very active and ongoing investigation, and our family liaison officer is in daily contact with Eli's family to provide updates. When it is appropriate and responsible to do so, additional details and updates will be released publicly." The police release also included a statement attributed to Wood's family that reads in part, "The time since Eli's disappearance has been overwhelming for us, but your kindness has brought us strength. And we kindly ask everyone in the community to please avoid posting, sharing, or relying on unverified information on social media. Inaccurate information and speculation can cause confusion and stress for our family and can interfere with the ongoing police investigation."
You don't want to taint witnesses' memories. You don't want to influence them by anything that they may be reading on social media or in the media itself, which may skew their recollection or put additional things into their head that are not really factual. So it's always important to maintain that integrity.
Former Toronto Police Detective Mark Mendelson says there will be multiple investigations happening behind the scenes.
Even going through things like his electronic devices may often require production orders from a justice. That takes time. Then the service provider, whether it's Rogers or Bell or TELUS or whoever, has to pull that information.
In the meantime, about 100 people have signed up for a community-organized ground search planned for Sunday. Megan Matheson is one of the organizers.
It's a large group from KW and also outside of the community who felt like Eli's situation needed a lot more support. And like we've learned through the family that Eli cared deeply for every community that they've been a part of, and that like we want to pour that same amount of care and compassion into our efforts to bring him home.
The group plans to search a secluded area near the Grand River off of Riverbend Drive.
We're just hoping to hopefully maybe find some sort of answers and possibly even bring Eli home. Like we're not too sure, but something is better than nothing at this point, I believe, and a lot of other people believe that too.
Waterloo Regional Police will not be attending the search. And we have the full statement from Eli Wood's family over on our website. You can find it at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony.
All right, Krista Simpson with that update for us. Krista, thank you. An update now to the investigation into yesterday's fatal hit and run on the 401. Police have now identified the driver of a tractor trailer who they were hoping to find and speak with. Yesterday's crash in the westbound lanes just west of Waterloo Region killed a 42-year-old tow truck operator from Kitchener who had been helping someone on the side of the highway. Police said the driver involved failed to stop. Later in the day, they shared this photo of a tractor trailer, and they said they were hoping to find and speak with the driver. Today, police said they have identified that driver, but they say the investigation is ongoing and they won't be sharing any other updates just yet. Time now for a first check on the weather. Let's head over to Leanne Evans live in studio with us tonight for more. Wow, chilly one out there today, and I'll tell you, we noticed it with the wind chill last night, and then it didn't get a heck of a lot better today.
No, it didn't. In fact, it only really got worse. I'll tell you that. Throughout the day, we actually fell off in temperatures. So through the afternoon, if you went outside, took a walk outside, you probably noticed that bitter cold air as well, because the wind chill was playing a big factor today. We're currently sitting at -11, and like I said, we started the day around -3, so temperatures have just been getting cooler and cooler throughout the day. It's -8 in London, -10 in the Chatham-Kent area, -8 in Goderich, -12 in Mount Forest, and -13 in Barrie this hour. So we're hoping for a little bit of a warm-up after the past couple of days. We're going to talk all about that a little bit later on in the full forecast. First, we'll take a look at the current satellite and radar. We're just noticing a little bit of cloud cover out there right now. You probably noticed some blowing snow as well throughout the day. Chance to see some flurries as we head into the evening as well. So expect a little bit of everything. Of course, temperatures are still very cold. If you're making your way out tonight, make sure to bundle up and stay warm. Tony.
All right, Leanne, thank you very much. The region of Waterloo says it doesn't have enough water to meet its expected population boom to 1 million people. Specifically, there's a concern in what's known as the Mannheim service area of the region. CTV's Colton Weens tells us what's being done to try to keep the taps flowing into the future.
The region of Waterloo says there is a water capacity issue in the Mannheim service area, which makes up the wells and pipes that serve most of Kitchener, Waterloo, part of Wilmot, and Woolwich. The region saying during its work to update the water supply strategy, it found the Mannheim area doesn't have enough water to support the population growing to 1 million people by 2051.
There's no concern for residents today. There's no issue with the water quality. This is really strictly a quantity issue and looking at the growth. So it's really about how do we phase the investments to be able to support that growth in the future.
The region says right now there is enough water coming from Mannheim and residents won't have to change their water consumption habits, but in the future they're going to have to find other water sources.
We don't have kind of the path forward right now, so we've identified this kind of imbalance in terms of water capacity. So we're getting our minds wrapped around all this and trying to figure out what are the solutions, what are the things we need to expedite.
According to the region, the Cambridge area has a surplus of water, but those wells can't pump to the Mannheim area.
We would need, something like a big pump to be able to bring things over. We don't have that today because these parts of the system were built together for a different growth, and growth has moved at different pace in these two different parts.
Residents don't need to change anything right now, but it's another major future project on the region's radar.
It's really about work, reprioritizing work. Then if we need more, in any case, our provincial partners are there too to help either with expediting some of the infrastructure or finding some even just some financing, not necessarily funding, but helping us through this.
A third party is now reviewing the region's findings and will confirm the extent of the issue. Colton Weens, CTV News, Kitchener.
Hope for an amicable end to the encampment situation in downtown Kitchener appears to be over. The region of Waterloo and lawyers representing encampment residents say mediation was not successful. So the two sides look to be heading to court in the new year. CTV's Jeff Pickle live now with the latest on all of this. And Jeff, of course, we should remind people this all stems from a bylaw that the region brought in earlier this year. It was aiming to eventually clear out the encampment for a transit hub on that site.
Yeah, Tony, this was back in April when the region passed the bylaw, but the courts previously ruled that the eviction could not take place until the region could find homes for people living there. This comes as the Canadian Federal Housing Advocate released a report that says these types of evictions are a human rights violation. It's a location of last refuge for many in Waterloo Region. A vacant lot at the corner of Victoria and Weber Street that's been an encampment for nearly 4 years. It's also been a major headache for the Region of Waterloo, who own the land and say it's needed as a staging ground for construction on the region's new transit hub. An attempt by the region to evict encampment residents in 2023 went to court, where a judge found the eviction was a violation of the residents' charter rights. The judge said until the region can supply an adequate housing alternative, the residents can stay. In April of this year, the region passed a new bylaw saying everyone had to be off the land by the end of November. Again, a judge ordered a hearing. The region and lawyers for the residents started mediation to avoid court, but today we learned those talks broke down. The Waterloo Region Community Legal Services say it's disappointed with the outcome of mediation. Extensive resources will now be spent by the region to litigate against people experiencing homelessness instead of trying to resolve the issue. The region says it's committed to supporting unhoused people, including those living at 100 Victoria Street. They say as of December 1st, 2025, 4 of the original individuals who were residing at the site as of April 16th, 2025, continue to reside at the site, and 23 have been supported by the region to alternative accommodations. Despite dozens of people currently living at the site, the encampment bylaw is only concerned with those who were there on or before the date the bylaw was issued. Others who moved in after April 16th did so illegally and can be removed. This news comes the same day Canada's Federal Housing Advocate report was critical of forced evictions.
The forced evictions cause further harm. Everything that I've heard about forced evictions does not have a good end. First of all, they fail to address the root cause.
Houle says the Region of Waterloo has been successful in many of its actions to address homelessness, but says they need more help from the province and feds.
But the solution to homelessness is adequate housing. It costs money, it needs to happen, and it's complex in its jurisdiction, and we need an all-of-government approach for that.
The region and encampment residents will be back in court February 6th to begin 3 days of hearings. Now, in the region's statement, they made that special mention of the 4 individuals who were living at the encampment prior to the date the bylaw was issued. So certainly it appears that dozens of other people who moved in after that April date do not have the same protections by the region and potentially could be removed without that court approval.
Okay, Jeff, thank you very much. CTV's Jeff Pickle with that update for us. A Bavarian holiday tradition is underway in downtown Kitchener. The annual Christkindl market has dozens of vendors, festive lights, and art installments. And we're going to head there live right now and hear from CTV's Karis Mapp, who has more. Pretty cold out there tonight, Karis, but I'll imagine it's quite busy down there.
It is quite busy, Tony, and as Leanne said earlier in the show, feeling like minus 11. You can see the breath kind of going as I'm speaking, but the holiday spirit is warming everybody's heart. So many people here right now. Opening ceremonies are happening right behind us at this time. You can hear Mayor Barry Verbanovic on stage kind of addressing the crowd. Over 95 vendors here this year, so lots for everyone to do. And one of those vendors is the Waffle House, and I'm actually here with Richard Brookeater. Yes, Brookeater nailed it. Yeah, who is with Waffle House. So, Richard, tell me, how many years have you been involved with Christkindl now?
I'm actually involved with the Waffle House for over 20 years and with the Christkindl market almost 25 years now.
Wow, so
I volunteered with the Christkindl market to get it open, to organize it for many, many years.
And so you've been here almost since the beginning. What are some of the evolutions and changes that you've seen of this market since it first started?
That's a good question with evolution. The first one was actually all on Cartier Square. All the huts were on Cartier Square with the music on Cartier Square, and then we expanded all to the street, out of the street, which is great now.
And tell me what people can expect from the Waffle House that you've been helping out with.
Oh, I'm helping out at the Waffle House. We have great waffles, Belgian waffles. We have apple strudel, cherry strudel. We have fresh apple cider, sweet apple cider, and mocha coffee and hot chocolate.
Oh, man, so much for everybody.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, so much for everyone to try. I always call this the Oktoberfest of Christmas here in downtown Kitchener. So lots for me to try. You know, I'll be back later in the show, but I'll be making my way around, trying new things and trying to keep warm. Tony.
All right, Karis, sounds good. Thank you very much. Karis Mapp live at Christkindl Market in downtown Kitchener. Coming up, deal extended for low-cost childcare. The reprieve for parents after 2 levels of government extend a deal, but lingering questions about spaces and staffing.
I'm Heather Centerin. A group in Guelph is hoping to save some parkland. An area owned by the Grand River Conservation Authority was deemed surplus, and residents hope it doesn't turn into housing. That story is just ahead.
If you are heading down to the Christkindl market, make sure you bundle up because temperatures are into the minus double digits tonight. But we will get a little break from that cold weather coming up. We'll break that all down and tell you when the next round of snow moves in your full forecast just ahead.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
A community group in Guelph is worried that conservation land that's been declared surplus could one day be turned into housing. It's right next to the Courtright Hills community. CTV's Heather Centerin is live with more. Heather, the land is owned by the Grand River Conservation Authority, but we should note it's not actually up for sale at this point.
But the group worries that it will be soon, Tony. The group says they need more parkland and not more housing.
The area behind this no trespassing sign near Niska Road and Pioneer Trail in Guelph was once part of a wildlife park.
Back in the 70s, some people will remember the Frank Courtright Waterfowl Park, and it was being sold off, and civic leaders of the day wanted to preserve it as parkland in perpetuity.
Now it's owned by the Grand River Conservation Authority. And so is this 8-hectare parcel of land across the street, which the GRCA declared surplus last year.
People really love this area, and
Susan Watson and the group Get Involved Guelph worry it could be sold and turned into housing since it's already zoned for it.
And some of the conservation areas in the summer you can't get in because they're at capacity. Like, this is not a time to be selling off conservation land for housing.
Watson says taxpayers should have a say, but it's been inaccessible to the public for 20 years.
Guelph citizens have an investment that's worth $6 to $8 million. If it's sold us off by the conservation area, we'll have nothing to show for it.
She says the city should change the zoning to prevent housing from being built, but the mayor says it's the GRCA's land and out of their hands.
They determined that it was deemed surplus, then they will control the process on what happens with those lands.
He says it may be too premature to worry about what happens to the property, as there are no official plans for it yet, and it isn't officially up for sale.
But it is not something that should be, causing any friction with myself, council, or our staff, because we too realize the importance of these lands within our boundary.
He stresses the city knows the importance of parkland.
And no matter what that future is, whether it's a month or whether it's 10 years, the city of Guelph will be continuing to have great conversations with the GRCA.
The group says they'll keep fighting to make sure the land is protected. We reached out to the GRCA, but they were not available for comment.
The group says they asked concerned residents to send a letter to city staff to ask for the zoning to be changed back to parkland in that 8-hectare parcel. They claim more than 300 people have sent out that letter. Tony.
All right, Heather Centerin live with that report. Heather, thank you. Parents across Ontario have been waiting for answers on childcare fees, and today they got some clarity as the federal government and the province extended their childcare deal for another year. The funding brings relief, but questions linger about spaces and staffing, as we hear from CTV's Caitlin Wilson.
Walking into Andrew Fleck Children's Services, Christina Meadows says she knows how lucky she is.
We got that opening on the waiting list, and it felt kind of like winning the lottery.
Her daughter, Tatiana, is in preschool here after getting an affordable spot under the Canada-wide $10 a day childcare program.
It actually gave us an opportunity to be able to family plan, and it allowed for even my husband to start his own business calmly as well, and we kind of call it our third baby.
And Thursday's announcement aims to keep stories like hers going, with a one-year extension of the Canada-wide early learning and childcare agreement until March 2027.
This saving represents up to $10,400 per year per family.
In total, the federal government is providing $3.9 billion, including $695 million next year to keep fees at an average of $19 a day until the end of 2026. But despite the extension, Ontario's education minister can't say when the province will reach its $10 a day goal, a target originally set for next year.
It is still our intention to make it to $10 as soon as the funding and the staffing and the space allows us to do so.
For many parents, finding a spot remains one of the biggest challenges. As of June, Ontario has created 41,000 new spots, far from its original target of 86,000 by 2026. And operators like Andrew Flex say demand continues to outpace their ability to grow.
We have lots of families on our waiting list. We can't expand as rapidly as we would be prepared to do. So knowing that there is an agreement now gives me some confidence that going forward, we might be able to just get this right.
As for Meadow, she says having the agreement signed for another year brings relief, especially to her wallet.
Access to high-quality, affordable childcare is the biggest peace of mind that you can ever have as a parent.
Well, live look outside once again at the Christkindl market in downtown Kitchener. It is a chilly one, -14, feeling a couple of degrees colder than that with the wind chill, but it's not stopping people from coming out and checking out this holiday tradition in downtown Kitchener. Leanne's back with our forecast in just a few minutes. Also ahead, how a hub at the University of Guelph is helping people deal with the death of a pet, and how much more grocery prices are expected to jump next year for a family of 4. All right, Leanne's back with our forecast, and I think we can agree the story over the last 24 hours has been how suddenly cold it's gotten. We had a little bit of sunshine today, but didn't really seem to make up for how freezing it was out there.
No, and you know what? Once I got in my car and I was driving and I saw the sun, I thought, okay, it's not going to be that bad. And then when I got out of my car, whew, faced with a reality check there.
I agree. And we actually could be, the reality is we could be dealing with some blowing snow because so much has already fallen, and then these wind chills are coming in just with those strong winds blowing everything around too.
Yeah, we've seen wind speeds upwards of about 50 to 60 kilometers an hour throughout the late afternoon into the evening as well. So if you do notice that blowing snow, it all adds up. It all makes sense. That is why. We're taking a live look from downtown Kitchener, where the Christkindl market is in its first night tonight. You can see some people are braving the cold conditions out skating, and if you're bundled up, it's, you know, not a bad night to do so. If you have that extra layer on, maybe wear that face mask as well. But 90 vendors out there at the Christkindl market, so a great way to do your holiday shopping, support local, just bundle up for it. But it is going on until Sunday, so you still have a chance to get out and enjoy there. Okay, right now in Waterloo region, we have dropped to -14 here locally. You can see on the board across southwestern Ontario, we seem to be experiencing the cold snap. It's -9 in London, -12 through Chatham-Kent, -8 in Sarnia, -11 in Mount Forest, and we are feeling closer to -18 when we do factor in that wind chill. Now today, that was our high, -14, and it just came, or sorry, our low, and it just came in the past half hour or so. Our high was -3, that came around 2 o'clock this morning, so temperatures have just been dipping ever since early this morning. Of course, well below seasonal for this time of year, certainly feeling the wind chill values out there today. Overnight tonight, dipping down a little bit cooler to -16. It will feel like -20 once we get into the overnight hours. Chance of flurries overnight as well. Tomorrow, -3, the daytime high. So things are going to warm up to end off the work week. We get a little bit of a break from this cold snap that we've been experiencing. It will feel like -16 in the morning, but by the afternoon, we'll feel more like -7 with the wind chill. Mostly cloudy skies and a chance of flurries as well throughout the afternoon Friday, and of course, overnight Friday into Saturday. That's when we're going to see the next system pull through. We'll time it out here. Those lake effect bands still building off the shores of Georgian Bay, off the shores of Lake Huron as well into the overnight hours Friday. This is that cloud cover that will be seen early Friday morning. pop-up scattered flurries throughout the day Friday afternoon, and into Saturday is when we're making way for that next round of active weather. As you can see, some areas will be seeing a little bit more snowfall, looking at anywhere from about 2 to 4 centimeters of localized accumulation. And into Sunday, that will continue, the snowfall, and temperatures stay below the freezing mark. -3 will be the daytime high, -14 the overnight low, so getting cool once again on Sunday. But by Monday, plenty of sunshine. We will all be starting the week on a very happy note with a high of -6. If you're joining us from the Windsor area, looks pretty nice in your neck of the woods. We're seeing some sunshine to end off the week and start the weekend. Saturday, great day to get outside. 0 degrees will be the daytime high, and Sunday as well with a high of -2. And in southern Georgian Bay, a chance to see some scattered flurries throughout the back half of this week. And to start the weekend, we will notice some accumulation in your area, especially through the Sunday evening into Monday as well. Okay, we'll take a look at tonight's Weather Watcher. It is from Cindy. This is the supermoon in Cambridge. She says, it's a beautiful thing to see on this cold day. I certainly agree. This is actually the last supermoon of 2025. But in this celestial event, there will be one more, a 4th supermoon in January.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, some good facts. Something else that I noticed about this particular full moon, it's appropriately named the cold moon.
Well, they know what they're doing, because
yes,
this might be one of the coldest days we've seen.
It's living up to its name, and it peaked, by the way, at 6:14. So just while we were on the air. So if you can get a vantage point of it where you are, it should be at its peak right now.
Yeah, we should have ran out and looked out the window.
Yes, I know. Well, we had a bright and early start to the day because we got a really great opportunity today to sort of lift the curtain away from the Toy Mountain campaign and take a look behind at what the Salvation Army does. Really the other side of this operation. You see it all here, but there's a whole back end to this as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, we've been collecting toys. We've been having businesses and organizations in here in studio building our Toy Mountain. But today, some of us from CTV, Virgin Radio, and Bounce Radio, we actually got the chance to go to the Salvation Army, help sort toys, and also help families pick out gifts for their kids.
It was an incredible experience, and here is a look at what goes on at the Salvation Army.
Today we are at the Salvation Army in Kitchener, where our team has been on a pretty special assignment. Usually we're sorting toys on our Toy Mountain in studio, but today we got to do something a little different.
Really exciting. We got to see firsthand just who gets to benefit from all of your generous donations here in person, helping families pick out toys for their kiddos come Christmas morning.
Yeah, it's been very special getting to actually see where the toys from Toy Mountain and all the generous businesses, organizations, and individuals come and bring the toys to. Well, now they end up here. So what we've been doing this morning is sorting the toys. We've been helping families pick out toys for their children, and it's really made it come full circle of what this campaign's all about.
Absolutely. It puts in perspective all the hard work that happens behind the scenes that you're not seeing on our studio set every day during our programming. It really gives an outlook on what people can expect when they come here with their families to get these amazing gifts for their children.
Yeah, and I think you could tell by the smile on their faces too. Captain Kelly Finefield with the Salvation Army is here with us today as well. How do you think today went?
I think today went really well. It was our first day of distribution, so you always expect some hiccups, but you guys came in and you kind of took charge. You knew what was happening, and it was really great just to see the interaction and to see the smile on people's faces as they came in today.
Okay, let's talk about this specific room, the sorting room, because we see a lot of toys in here, but it's still actually not enough this year.
Yeah, and so if you look at the toys behind us, some people may look at that and go, oh my goodness, it looks like a toy store. It's fully stocked. But the reality is, as you guys witnessed this morning, the toys go out the door really quickly. This year we are looking to serve 5,000 children. And we try to give each child 2 gifts plus some stocking stuffers. So if that's 5,000, that's 10,000 toys. And so it takes a lot of toys to serve our community. And so we are still in need. We're seeing some gaps in our older kids as well as our younger kids. We serve those 0 to 15. And so, yeah, we are still looking for more gifts for this Christmas.
And it was a busy morning here at the Salvation Army in Kitchener with families coming through. How much longer will families be able to come and pick up toys for their kids for Christmas?
Yeah, so all of our families have already registered. So our registration is closed and they've all been given appointment times. And this is going to go on like this all day, Monday to Friday, into tomorrow, and then all next week and into the following week as well.
Okay, Kelly, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And Ashley, I think we did good sorting today as well. We were in charge of the 4 to 8-year-olds at one point.
Yes, and man, like Kelly just said, it looks like there's a lot of toys behind us, but it goes fast. And, you know, your donations are still needed for the next few weeks as our Toy Mountain campaign continues until the 17th. Drop-off locations all throughout the city. But certainly, you know, it was really great to see all of those happy faces today.
Yeah, and if you do want to donate, you can find out more information on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca.
And Leanne, it certainly brought a whole new dimension to it. There is nothing more heartwarming than having the privilege of meeting families who are going to be benefiting from everything we do here with Toy Mountain, and seeing the looks on some of their faces as they were getting those gifts to get ready to go under the tree.
You know, it was so nice how grateful everyone was for the Salvation Army and what they provide and what the community has provided as well. Yeah, it was a really full circle, wholesome moment.
Kelly and the group have got some wonderful hearts over there, and it was a privilege to be part of that today. Now, we have to address something else very important right here, because one member of our team was not able to join us at the Salvation Army this morning.
Yeah, you may have noticed that Alex Pinto has been off for a few days. We've been kind of rotating roles around here. I've been handling weather duties. Ashley's been doing the 5 because Alex has been away.
Yes, and already you've been asking us, where's Alex? So Alex herself has an update for our viewers and sent this message.
Hi everyone, I am off air a little sooner than expected and very sad to not finish out the rest of the Toy Mountain campaign with the rest of the team, but very excited to welcome our new addition very soon. I wanted to wish you all a safe and happy holiday season, and I will see you when I return from maternity leave in 2027. We'll see you then.
And of course, it's not the same around here without Alex.
No, we miss you, Alex.
We do, but we're so happy for Alex and Matt and their growing family, and we wanted to make sure that all of you knew where Alex was, because we know you care as well.
Yes, and everyone's been asking.
Yep.
I was at the Rangers game the other night. Everyone's like, where's Alex?
Yes, well.
And I'm like, well, we're going to have her back in 2027.
Somebody said to me, you know, it is like you're members of the family because you come into our living rooms every night, and that makes a lot of sense. So we thought we'd let Alex explain that in her own words. So Alex, all of our love from the team as well as you embark on this new journey with your family. Well, coming up next, finding new ways to help ease the grieving process after the death of a pet. Spencer Turcotte heads to the University of Guelph for more on an online hub helping pet owners navigate loss. Food costs will overtake inflation next year in this country. It means you should anticipate paying more for beef, chicken, and vegetables at the grocery store. The average family of 4 will be shelling out almost $1,000 more for groceries in 2026. CTV's Abigail Beeman breaks down the numbers and the specifics behind the jump in expenses.
As a new and breastfeeding mom, more expensive food prices mean hard decisions for Valerie E. Madison.
Well, now even the quantity of food as well, I have to cut a little bit, you know, to have the quality, so you have to cut it because, yes, it's just so expensive.
According to a new report, overall food prices are expected to jump between 4 and 6% next year, leaving a family of 4 with an annual grocery bill of $17,571 and change, up almost $1,000 from last year.
This is our 16th edition, and so we've never predicted an amount like this.
The biggest driver this year, beef, climbed 19% in the first quarter and 7.2% overall.
Because of beef prices, people are so shocked they pivot towards chicken and pork. We're also expecting prices for both chicken and pork to increase as well.
Other factors impacting food prices are the trade war, the GST holiday, and changes to the temporary foreign worker program.
10.6 million Canadians are food insecure, but those that are missing meals on a daily basis or weekly basis, those are 2.8 million. And so food banks right across the country have risen to the occasion.
Food costs have driven Paul Wang to take transit.
You have a choice of gas or the food.
It's terrible because I'm on a lower income.
In addition to the U.S. trade war, the report notes other things to watch next year include the impact of more severe weather events and the new grocery code of conduct, which fully comes into force in January. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
All right, time to recap our top stories. CTV's Ashley Bacon in studio with us for all the latest. And we are reporting today on the disappearance of Eli Wood, which has certainly been in the news for a while, but some updates today.
That's right, Tony. It's been 6 weeks since Wood's disappearance under suspicious circumstances. Wood lived in a back unit on a home in Major Street in Kitchener, where there was a fire believed to be arson back on October 19th. Police say they believe foul play was involved. Now members of the community are planning a search this Sunday around a secluded area near Grand River off of River Bend Drive. The Region of Waterloo is headed to court after mediation with lawyers for Encampment residents broke down. People have been living at the vacant property at 100 Victoria Street since winter of 2022. In April, the Region of Waterloo passed a bylaw to evict anyone living there by December 1st. Before that date, there was a scheduled hearing in front of a judge, but the region agreed to mediation with lawyers for the encampment to avoid going to court. Now, those talks have broken down, and now a new court date has been set for February 6th.
And lots on the go with our digital team today. As always, a lot more information online, including tonight, Ash, a story about an alert about a man who's wanted by police.
That's right, Tony. There is a Canada-wide warrant issued for Evan Heaney. Police say he is known to frequent the Tri-Cities and Milton and also has ties to Newfoundland. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact investigators. For more information on this story, you can scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on our CTV News app or to download the app right now. You can also visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony.
Okay. Ashley Bacon, have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, losing a pet is never easy, but the Ontario Veterinary College at the University of Guelph is hoping to help ease the grieving process. They've created a new online hub that blends personal stories with expert insight to help navigate the loss. CTV's Spencer Turcott has more.
Hi, Mommy. This is me, walking Bella.
Sydney and her dog Bella were inseparable.
I always called Bella my big sister.
Then one day, her furry friend was diagnosed with cancer.
Telling her was one of the worst experiences of my life.
She walked off into the snow, like we could tell she was ready.
Time went quicker than expected.
We were told we could possibly get 2 to 4 months with her, and we had 21 days.
Her loss was beyond devastating. There's not really any words I can really describe it. I often say when people say, oh, how did it feel? I said it was like a suffocating grief.
It was Sydney's first experience with any sort of death. Even for adults, it's tough to navigate.
Suddenly, when they're not with us anymore, that's a huge adjustment.
It's something the Ontario Veterinary College understands, given grief for pets is not always socially validated.
So sometimes a lot of people hear things like, well, it's just a dog, can you get another one? I think there's like a gap in North America when it comes to people like seeking support.
So, thanks to the OVC Pet Trust at the University of Guelph, they've launched a new online hub to help people of all ages and even veterinary professionals deal with the loss of a pet.
We had a very generous gift from a donor who lost their own companion animal and was, seeking a space for themselves.
With that, they expanded the online resources, adding pet loss support guides, a library of wide-ranging expert interviews, and a documentary series featuring families like Sydney's.
Basically found out oh, this is also part of the job. You can't save every animal. The life circle goes on.
It can be wide-reaching, and that people don't feel so alone, and they know, how to navigate their loss just a little bit better.
It's something Sydney and her mother wish they had during their journey.
We never found anything like this when we were going through this process.
I'm just really glad now that there are things to kind of help people get
do it.
Now their beloved Bella lives on, helping other families long after she's gone.
This is how much I love you, Bella. I love you so much, and I'll love you forever, no matter what.
Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Guelph.
Looks like a great resource. Spencer, thank you for that. All right, coming up on CTV News, what Canadians have been searching for over the last year. Google releases its trends for 2025. The stories and the personalities that dominated conversations this year across the country.
Holiday set decoration provided by Royal City Nursery.
As 2025 comes to an end, Google has unveiled the searches that defined the year, from stories that captured Canadians' attention to the personalities who dominated the conversation. CTV's John Vanavalley-Rao breaks down the trends that had Canadians curious.
When it comes to summing up the year that's gone by, what better to look at than the things Canadians Googled in 2025? And one subject came up more than any other: the Blue Jays, who gave us some of the year's most memorable moments, including this Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Grand Slam against New York. And in the category of news and events, these two words were the year's most looked up, followed by Canadian election results, Iran, LA fires, and the Charlie Kirk shooting. As for the person Googled the most, Mark Carney topped the list.
This was an election year, and Canadians were following the election every step of the way.
Serial killer Ed Gein came in second. He was the subject of a Netflix true crime series. When it comes to athletes, 4 of the top 5 Googled were Blue Jays, including rookie Treya Savage, and rounding out the list, Canadian tennis star Victoria Mboko, who at age 18 won the National Bank Open in Montreal. As for searches, starting with what, among the most popular were, what does elbows up mean? What time is the Jays game today? And what does 6-7 mean? A meme that caught on fast with kids and has no fixed meaning, part of its appeal. The top why questions: why is Canada Post on strike? Why did Trudeau resign? And why do baseball players spit? When it comes to the top searched word in pop culture, it was La Boo Boo, a line of plush toys that went viral, followed by Bianca Censori's Grammy dress.
My name is Happy Gilmore.
Well, the top searched movie was Happy Gilmore 2. And the most Googled song, Golden, from the animated musical K-pop Demon Hunters. A year that had its golden moments as we count down the final weeks to 2026. John Vanavalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
That's a pretty cool way to look back at the year, Leanne. I can tell you that one of those, what does 6-7 mean, was definitely me earlier in the year.
Apparently, I heard today when the kids say 6-7, you're supposed to say 8-9. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. Anyways, we are sitting at a brisk -14 this hour in Waterloo region, but things are going to warm up to end off the work and school week. We'll take a look at your wake-up weather next.
Virgin Radio is KW's #1 hit music station. Home of Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning. Listen to 105.3 Virgin Radio everywhere with the iHeartRadio app.
Is no fair. You are younger, so you know all the Virgin Radio songs.
I know them all. I'm like a pop queen.
Leanne's singing along whenever the Virgin promo comes on. I'm singing along whenever the Bounce promo comes on.
Yeah.
Though you are good with older music, too.
You've taught me well, I think.
Yes, I think I have.
Between you and my dad,
Yep.
I feel like I've learned a little bit.
Me and her dad.
You like the same music.
We do. We do.
And I like it too.
Let's talk about the weather, Leanne.
Should we?
Yes, let's do that. I hope he's watching.
Oh, me too. Okay, it's cold out.
Yep.
Wind chill values are going to feel into the -20s tonight, overnight. And as you can see here, Tony, 6 a.m., -14 is the temperature waking up. So if you're an early riser, bundle up when you head outside.
Good warning, but I'll bet you there are some nice warm drinks on offer tonight down at Christkindl Market. We're heading back down there now to check in with CTV's Karis Map. There's always something to warm the heart and the soul down there. Karis?
Absolutely, Tony, and I'm not sure if you can see, but we've got some hot apple cider, maybe some hot apple fritters, anything to keep us warm. As you can see, the fritters.
Karis, this started out as a dozen. What's going on? I think there's only 8 left. I think the elves have been in the box.
The elves have been eating the fritters, and I'm here with Kitchener Mayor Barry Verbanovic. So, Barry, look at all the people around us. Were you expecting this many people here, given how cold it is today?
You know what? This is really one of those magical times of the year when nobody feels the cold anymore. I can remember when this event started 29 years ago. There were people, German people, who had tears in their eyes the first time this event came to the community. And every time it happens, it's just so magical. And next year, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary.
And Barry, quickly, can you just tell me what this market actually means to the city of Kitchener and why it's so important?
You know what? It really is a time to bring the community together. People of all cultures, all faiths. Doesn't matter, you know, how you celebrate the holiday season. It's about bringing people together, creating a sense of belonging, and just the peace, love, and hope of the holiday season.
Well, we're going to continue enjoying this holiday season. Tony, back to you. We're going to keep trying some new things.
Looks great. Karis and Mayor Barry, thank you both. You know, it looks like you could probably forget about the cold with offerings like that.
Yes, I remember last year I covered the Christkindl Market and we tried the apple fritters. Oh my goodness, you have to get down there and try it. Of course, the market's running until Sunday, so you still have a chance.
Lots of time. Well, that's going to do it for us. We will be back here tonight, a little later this evening. We've got NFL football coming up right after the show, coming up at 8 o'clock, as a matter of fact. And then we'll be on after CTV National News a little later tonight. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good night.